I've been playing video games for a long time. I've always been enamored by the vast open world, engaging storylines, addictive gameplay, shameless microtransactions. Wait a second. However, out of all the games I have experienced, none impacted me in the way Kingdom Hearts has. I've been hopelessly in love with this game since I popped it into the PlayStation for the very first time. Well, after the half-an-hour download. Yes, I played the HD version first. We'll get into that later in the video. Anyways, I've wanted to make this video since the very beginning of the channel, so without further ado, join me as I talk about how Kingdom Hearts changed my life. I want to start this retrospective by talking about my experiences with Kingdom Hearts before actually playing the game and how I pretty much got into it. I am a product of the mid-2000s, which means that I grew up as a 2010s kid. Kingdom Hearts was never relevant in my life growing up, as I, like most kids in my era, grew up with the Wii and the DS/3DS. When it came to games, I was either playing Mario and Skylanders on my Wii, or I was playing Minecraft on my iPad. Yes, I was the first generation of iPad kids. Throw your tomatoes now. Kingdom Hearts was never in my thoughts until my friend got a PS4 to play the games and told me about it. And even then, I wasn't actively searching for it. After all, my biggest obsession of the late 2010s was The Legend of Zelda and Minecraft. Nevertheless, leave it to the one and only Masahiro Sakurai to drop Sora into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to actually pique my interest. At the time of Sora's announcement for Smash Bros, I had already been dipping my toes into the RPG scene. I just started playing Pokemon and was very intrigued into Final Fantasy VII after, you guessed it, Sephiroth's inclusion in Smash Bros. Alongside announcing Sora for Smash Bros, Sakurai also dropped that the Kingdom Hearts franchise was coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now here's the catch. There's always a catch. Instead of actually porting the games to Switch, they decided to make cloud versions instead, which is the stupidest and most Square Enix thing Square Enix has ever done, at least for now. If you don't know what cloud gaming is, I'll have my video discussing the cloud versions of the Kingdom Hearts games linked at the end of this video and in the description. Just a shameless little plug there. All that to say, my stupid little 15-year-old brain didn't comprehend that. So I was actually really excited for these cloud versions. Little did I know that 3 months later, I was able to scoop up a PS5. Back when it was still impossible to find them nonetheless. This pretty much opened the floodgates for me to grab the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one collection the same day the PS5 arrived, and ironic enough, just before the Switch cloud versions dropped. And thus, the beginning of my new obsession began. I was hooked from the moment I put the disc in the PS5. Now that I've given a little backstory on how I was introduced to Kingdom Hearts, let's actually get into what about the game hooked me so much. The plot of the whole Kingdom Hearts series is well known for being convoluted and difficult to follow. This wasn't always the case. The plot of Kingdom Hearts follows Sora, Riku, and Kairi as their home is destroyed by the darkness, and they are separated, throwing each of the three into a different scenario. Sora is dumped into Traverse Town, where he meets up with Disney icons Donald Duck and Goofy. Riku is confronted by Maleficent and gives into the power of the darkness, and Kairi loses her heart and is stuck as a mindless zombie. Sora, alongside with Donald and Goofy, travel through various worlds based on popular Disney films, as Sora seeks to find his lost friends and King Mickey, who was left on an unknown quest, and to seal the keyholes of each world, saving them from darkness. This game's plot and core themes are really what sold me on this game. I sympathize with Sora as I myself am deeply connected with my friends and would do anything for them. It's also quite heartwarming to watch Sora, Donald, and Goofy's friendship blossom. When I first played Kingdom Hearts, I was in a transitional part of my life, where I lost a lot of my lifelong friends and was finding it difficult to get connected to a new group of friends. Seeing the bonds that these fictional characters had was oddly comforting. If Sora could make new friends, then so could I. Look, I know it's silly. After all, I was 15. And it's not like these characters always got along. The catalyst for the Deep Jungle world, by the way, terrible world, was Sora and Donald arguing. It made the blooming friendship between these characters feel more real. After playing this game, I really started to value the new friendships that I was making. I'll wrap this section with hands down my favorite part from this game. In the mysterious Hollow Bastion world near the end of the game, Sora has lost the Keyblade and his friends, as Donald and and Goofy had strict orders to follow whoever possessed the Keyblade. He is then confronted by Riku, who has given his life to the darkness and now holds the Keyblade, as well as Donald and Goofy. Sora, being Sora, tries to win Riku back with the power of friendship, to no avail. Riku then goes to strike Sora, but is deflected by Goofy, who put their friendship with Sora over their mission. Sora then drops this banger of a line.
How will you fight without a weapon?
I know now I don't need the Keyblade. I've got a better weapon. My heart!
Your heart? What good will that weak little thing do for you?
Although my heart may be weak, it's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made. I've become part of their heart just as they've become a part of mine. And if they think of me now and then, if they don't forget me, then our hearts will be one. I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
My friends are my power. For some reason, that line specifically has stuck with me ever since I played the game, and that's one of the reasons why this game has such a special place in my heart. The plot is only as strong as the characters that inhabit it. I love the cast of Kingdom Hearts. Sora is adventurous, dedicated, loyal, funny, and has the biggest heart in all of gaming. As I played through the game, I was touched by Sora's characterization, always pushing through whatever obstacle and finding ways that he can help the people around him. He's just a fun character that you want to see push through and find the ones that he loves. I especially love watching his interactions with Donald and Goofy. They just have such great chemistry with each other. Watching all three of them grow with each other from start to finish was one of my favorite parts of this game. All of the Disney characters were implemented into the world perfectly. There was a lot of care and attention to detail when making the characters fit in and play off of each other. A cast of iconic Disney villains serve as the antagonists of this game, including, but not limited to, Maleficent, Hades, Jafar, Oogie Boogie, Captain Hook, and Ursula, just to name a few. The dialogue between all of these villains was some of the funniest in the game. Also part of this group is Riku, who is under the influence of Maleficent and Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. We'll get into him in a second. Riku is the quote-unquote bad boy of the group. He's competitive, cocky, and a little power-hungry. He kind of falls into the trope of being manipulated by an evil figure to reach his goal, and ends up becoming the bad guy in the end. Both Sora and Riku share the same goal, finding and reuniting Kairi's lost heart, though their methods of doing so are quite different. In Riku's pursuit of the darkness to save his friend, he inadvertently lets the evil Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, take possession of his heart. Ansem then reveals himself to be the true antagonist of the game, manipulating Riku and the Disney villains from the very beginning. Overall, I do really like the cast of villains assembled for this game. The Disney villains are more fun than anything, however they do have their evil moments. Riku is the perfect sucker for being manipulated by evil, and Ansem, while not on screen for long, is actually quite frightening, and tugged at me for blaming Riku for all of Sora's problems when it was really Ansem using Riku as a vessel. And luckily Riku does get his redemption at the end, helping Sora and Mickey close the door to darkness. The last character I will touch on is Kairi, who serves as Sora's main motivation. Kairi and Sora are a lot alike in the same sense of their longing for adventure and carefree spirits. It's also heavily implied that she is Sora's love interest. She doesn't really do much during the course of the game until the end, which I won't spoil because it's actually really good and emotional, and I was almost crying, okay guys. I do really love Sora and Kairi's bond. My heart was pretty much drowning in tears whenever they were on screen together. Call me a softie or whatever, but little 15-year-old me wanted a bond with someone like theirs, so I was really touched in that way. Overall, I really love all of the characters in this game, both new and old. The game just felt so alive because of these characters. And it would be ill of me not to mention the fact that a whole ton of Final Fantasy characters were chucked into this game. It's fun to see all these serious and brooding characters like Cloud and Squall in this setting. I also appreciated how the Final Fantasy characters were actually given some plot relevance as compared to being shoehorned in for marketability. This game served as my main exposure to Final Fantasy, which I have now forged an unhealthy obsession for, so I will always appreciate this game for that. And of course, the Sephiroth secret boss fight is peak, absolute cinema. One of the aspects of this game that really sucked me in was the world design and gameplay. As I stated earlier, this game has you travel through worlds based on popular Disney films of that time, such as Hercules, Aladdin, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Peter Pan, and The Little Mermaid, also just to name a few. Each of these worlds are expertly crafted, except for Deep Jungle, with loads of detail put into them. The level design of these worlds makes for fun and interesting puzzles and platforming. There were also completely original worlds made for this game as well. Traverse Town is one 100% my cozy hangout spot, best town in Kingdom Hearts series, way better than Twilight Town, come at me. Hollow Bastion serves as such a powerful climax and holds a pretty good late game challenge. And the end of the world is empty and scary, perfect for the final world of the game. Everything that was put into these worlds worked to keep me hooked on finding out what was next and who I was going to encounter. I really enjoyed being able to poke around and explore these iconic worlds. The world design really aided in keeping this game unforgettable, the good and the bad. The gameplay goes hand in hand with the world design. The out-of-combat exploration is decently fun. Sora controls better than you would expect for a 20-plus-year-old game. The platforming can be a little jank sometimes, but that's really about it. I'm really drawn to how grounded Sora is in this game. Subsequent entries make him very fast and floaty, and while I do still like how he feels now, I don't know. There's just something about how grounded he is that appeals to me. Same goes for the combat as well. The combat feels more defense focused instead of the combo focused of the new games. I like how you have to plan each encounter more than just mashing buttons. It almost reminds me of Dark Souls a little bit, but with a little more fluidity. I like that the combat was difficult enough to get me hooked on getting better. There were definitely some bosses that skill checked me pretty hard during my first playthrough, and it felt really good to overcome them. It's really interesting to see where Kingdom Hearts as a series has come when it comes to the combat, but I'm still pretty attached to the way things worked in the original game. The world design and combat will always stick with me due to how complex and unique they both are. Of course, I couldn't talk about how influential of a game this was for me without talking about the music. The music of Kingdom Hearts lives rent-free in my brain. I can't help but whistle and hum the tunes from this game, whether it was a good day or a bad one. Whenever Dearly Beloved comes on, I just close my eyes and bask in the sounds of the piano. I always feel warm and cozy inside while listening to the Traverse Town theme. And the battle themes, oh, the battle themes. They're a bop. They really get my heart pumping. These compositions complement what's going on screen so perfectly. The world themes each encapsulate their respective worlds so well. Even the remixes of popular Disney tunes sound great, if not better than their originals. I associate so many memories with the music of this game. I would die to see this music played by a live orchestra. This incredible soundtrack is absolutely massive part about why this game affected me as it did. That leads us to the conclusion of this retrospective. Kingdom Hearts, through its storytelling, characters, world building, gameplay, and music, have made me the gamer that I am today. This game inspired me to be a better friend, fight for the ones I love, and to push through even when it's hard. And no matter how silly or cringy this game or this video may be, this world, these characters, the music, they'll all be in my heart forever.